Hi everyone, I am Himakshi and welcome to my tutorial channel. Today I'll continue it my previous class where I have been stopped it. So let's begin the class. Well, in my previous class I explained about introduction of Ayush, then objective of Ayush, activities of Ayush and Ayurveda system. And today we'll continue from Siddha and one by one I'll explain it. So please come to my next slide. So Siddha system. So we'll start the class. Siddha, it means, or we can say it implies achievement or achievement with perfection. Siddha is a term that is used widely in Indian religion and culture. It means one who is accomplished. It was practiced by siddhas who aim to maintain perfect health in order to achieve siddhi or heavenly bliss. Siddha system believed to have evolved in Tamil Nadu, and Siddha literature is in Tamil language. So here, according to Tamil literature, Siddha, or we can say Siddham, mean mind, or this Siddha word in Sanskrit is called Siddhi, yes, or we can say heavenly bliss. So this Siddha means achievement with perfection, and those who attain an intellectual level of perfection were called as Siddhas. So Siddhas means so those are sadhu and sannyasi we can say. And most of the diseases are related to mind. The primitive cause of disease is the variation and disturbance, or we can say imbalance in mind. That is very true. Thus, we have to treat the mind to cure the physical problem. So, Siddhas stressed, or we can say days to put more emphasized the value of leading calm, peaceful life with the help of yoga, pranayama, etc. So, by this fact, one can understand that Siddha not only deals with the physical illness but also with the mental illness. So here one more thing I want to add, that is like objective of Siddha. So objective of Siddha is to attain the eternity or to attain this living a healthy life, which is very important. So thus the aim is to lead a life without any disease and to promote the health. So this is all about the Siddha system. So now we'll move to the our next slide. So what is Mukutram? Do you know? And have you heard this term before? Mukutram are Vatam, Pitham and Kabam. These are the composition of the any two Pancha Bhutam. In a normal person, the Mukutram must be in perfect balance. So Mukutram has three Kutram, that is Bhatam, Pitham and Kabam. And these are the composition of any two Pancha Bhutam. So as I told in my previous class in Ayurveda system, our bodies are composition of five elements, that is called Pancha Mahabhutam. And also we have three dosa, yes, that is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. And these three dosa is composition of any two Pancha Bhutam, like air plus water, fire plus air, sky plus ether. Yes, so same here in Siddha also it has three Kutram, that is Bhattam, Pittam and Kavam, and it is what composition of the any two Pancha Bhutam. And in a normal person the Mukutram must be in perfect balance. And this Kutram, okay, so this Kutram, it may be influenced by the nature of food, by the nature of place where the person live, then season, then climate and mental health, etc. And persons may have single Kutram or may have combination of two Kutram. It depends on the individual. Yes, and this why I am telling in detail regarding this mukutram, because in Siddha, through this kutram, means through this bhattam, pittam and kabam, what they used to do, so they used to diagnose the disease. So due to that, you should know very nicely regarding this bhattam, pittam and kabam. In next slide, I'll tell about the role of bhattam, pittam and kabam in our body. Let's move to the next slide. Next is, that is fifth one, toral. So toral means touch. Dry in bhattam, warm in pittam, chill in kabam, sweating in different parts of the body. So sixth one is malam or stool. So black stool indicate bhattam, yellow pittam, pale in kabam, dark red in ulcer and shiny in terminal illness. And seventh is mir, that is urine. Early morning urine is examined. Straw color indicate indigestion. Reddish yellow color in excessive heat. Rose in blood pressure. Saffron color in jaundice and looks like meat wash water in renal disease. So last one, that is 8.1 is nadi, or we can say pulse. That is the confirmatory method recorded on the radial artery. So these are the 8 ways through which Siddha used to diagnose the disease. So next, so come to the role of three kutram. So first one is Bhata Kutram. So what is the role of Bhata Kutram in body? Bhattam is production. It is responsible for production or implementation of thoughts to action. Generally, its function is more related to cerebral activities like thinking and action. Next one is Pitta Kutram. So what is the role of Pitta Kutram in the body? So Pittam is for preserving the body. It is responsible for the normal metabolism. It controls the digestion, the levels of hemoglobin, the movement of limbs, the function of eyes to enhance vision, the complexion of skins and the sharpness of the mind. So these are the role of Pitta Kutram in our body. So last one is, what is the role of Kabam in the body? So Kabam means destruction, or we can say demolition. So here that Kabam function is destructive in nature. So according to the Siddha, that old age is the cause of death is by Kabam. Yes, so Kabam means like degeneration of the cells, we can say, according to Siddha. So that the cause of death which is occur by the Kabam. So this is the role of Kabam in our body. I hope you got. Come to the diagnosis. In diagnosis, examination of 8 items is required, which is commonly known as Am-Baikat Turvu. So these are, first one is Na, that is tongue. Black in bottom, yellow or red in pittam, white in kabam and ulcerated in anemia. Second one is varnam, that is color. Dark in bottom, yellow or red in pittam, pale in kabam. Third one is kural, that is voice. So normal in bottom, high pitch in pittam, low pitch in kabam, slurred in alcoholism. Fourth one is kan, that is eye. Muddy in conjunctiva, yellowish or red in pittam and pale in kabam. Now come to the treatment. The first one, the drugs used by Siddhas could be classified into 3 groups. So that 3 groups are Thavaram, that is herbal product, Tharu, that is inorganic substance, and Zangamam, that is animal products. So these products are mainly used by the Siddhas, or we can say those Maharshi, okay, Sadhu, Rishi and all. Then second one is treatment is classified into 3 categories, that is Devamaru Thavam, that is called divine method, then Manuda Maruthavam, that is rational method, and Asura Maruthavam, that is surgical method. So through this method, especially this divine, rational and surgical method, that Siddha, they are giving the treatment to the patient. So this is all about the Siddha system. So next come to the Unani. Now come to the Unani system. Unani, it originated in Greece before Christ under the patronage of Hippocrates, that is 377 to 400 and Galen, but it has been taken to various countries such as Arabia, Iran, China, Syria and India. It makes use of naturally occurring, mostly in herbal medicine. Let H.K. Ajmal Khan discover Asrol, or we can say Ralphia serpentine, for the treatment of high BP. To the next slide, that is diagnosis and treatment. So diagnosis is done by feeling, pulse, observation of urine, stool, color of skin and gait, etc. And comprises three components, that is preventive, promotive and curative. So in Siddha system, so they were mainly giving more focuses on preventive, means to prevent a disease, or like how to prevent a person from the disease or from the any deviation of the physical and mental. Then also how can be promote the health, and also curative, how to cure a person from the disease. So this is their main component, or you can say main aims. So come to the role of tree Kutram. So first one is Bhata Kutram. So what is the role of Bhata Kutram in body? Bhatam is production. It is responsible for production or implementation of thoughts to action. So treatment is in four form of Unani system. It is pharmacotherapy, dietotherapy, surgery and regimental therapy. Yes, so in pharmacotherapy, so they are providing drugs according to the disease. In dietotherapy, so sometimes they are giving diet therapy. Okay, so according to disease, so they are giving diet, okay, different diet, and that diet they need to follow it. So that is called dietotherapy, and sometimes they are giving some diet therapy to promote their health or to prevent from the disease. Then again surgery, so there are surgery also. Then regimental therapy. So what is regimental therapy? It's just like a therapist, like we can say cupping, then aromatherapy, yes, then bathing, exercise, massaging of the body. So this will come under the regimental therapy. So these are the mainly four therapy which is to given by the Unani system. Now come to the homeopathy system. So what is homeopathy, or what do you mean by homeopathy? Yes, so homeopathy is a system of natural health care that has been in worldwide use for over 200 years. Homeopathy treats each person as a unique individual with the aim of stimulating their own healing ability. A homeopathy selects the most appropriate medicine based on the individual's specific symptoms and personal level of health. So by this slide, what we can understand, that homeopathy, it is a medical system which was developed in Germany more than 200 years ago. And again, homeopathy treats each person as a unique individual, and every individual have different treatment, and their main aim is just to stimulate their own healing ability inside the body. A homeopathy selects the most appropriate medicine based on the individual's specific symptoms and personal level of health, like lifestyle of the person, family history of the person, personal history of the person. So now come to the next slide. Homeopathy is recognized by the World Health Organization as the second largest therapeutic system used in the world, while it is most popular in India and South America. Homeopathy was discovered by a German doctor, Samuel Hahnemann. So Samuel Hahnemann, he is a German doctor who was discovered homeopathy. The homeopathy words came from Greek word, that is Homos, that means like, and pathos, that means suffering. So the meaning of homeopathy is like suffering. Now come to the next slide. Homeopathy is based on two unconventional theory, that is like cure like theory, and second one is law of minimum dose. So like cure like theory, it refers that a disease can be cured by a substance that produces similar symptoms in a healthy person. So what it said, like a disease which can be cured by a substance, yes, and that same substance it can produce similar symptoms in a healthy person. Just here I just want to give one example, like an onion makes your eyes water and your nose burn, yes. If you are having an attack of hay fever with watering eyes and burning nose, a homeopathic remedy made from the onion can't relieve it. So I hope you got it from this example. Yes, so onion, you just imagine that onion is a substance, yes, that from onions, but through onions they can produce the similar symptoms in a healthy person, that is what, yes, watering eyes and burning nose. And same way that through that substance only they can cure the disease also, that is hay fever, yes. So this is the example of like cure like. I hope you got it what I mean to say. The next one is law of minimum dose. So law of minimum dose theory, it refers that the lower dose of the medication that greater its effectiveness, and many homeopathy products are so diluted that no molecules of the original substance remain. So what they are saying, that it refers that the lower dose of the medication. So according to the homeopathy, that lower dose is more effective, yes, and because of that that doctors they prescribe the least amount of medicine which is needed to evoke a healing response. So come to the next slide. Homeopathy products come from the plants such as red onion, arnica, poison ivy, and belladonna. Minerals such as white arsenic, or animals such as crushed whole bees. Homeopathy products are often made as sugar pellets to be placed under the tongue. So these sugar pellets, you can see here I have given one picture, that white color you can see it, yes, that granules type. So that is called sugar pellets, and which is we need to place under the tongue, that is called sublingual, yes. So they may be in other forms such as ointment, gel, drops, creams, and now come to the diagnosis and treatment of homeopathy, yes. So what do you mean by individualized process? Do you know what is individualized? Yes. So individualized process means according to age, according to gender, even according to person, the treatment will be different in homeopathy, and it is a long-term well-being, as you all know. Then physician required long duration to interview the patient, and even physician he should take proper history of the patient, okay, starting from the personal history till the family history, so that he can identify all the problems of the individual, and which will help him to but diagnose and to treat the patient. And again it is an effective treatment for chronic disease like diabetes, like hypertension, okay. So this is all about homeopathy. So come to the naturopathy and yoga. So what is naturopathy? So by this word only we can say, okay, it's just a way of life, and naturopathy pay particular attention to regulation of eating and living habits, and adoption purificatory measures, use of hydrotherapy, cold packs, mud packs, bath massages, etc. And it is a holistic system. So holistic system means, so it is giving the physical, psychological, and spiritual happiness to a person, okay. So that is called holistic. Okay, now I'll tell about yoga. So yoga is a science which helps to coordinate body and mind more effectively, and it promotes mental, physical, and social and spiritually. because as we know, yoga, it is a group of physical, mental and spiritual practices which is originated in India itself. And outside the India, it has developed into the posture, which is based on physical fitness, stress relief and relaxation technique. But yoga in India tradition, however, is more than physical exercise. It has a meditative and spiritual core. So as you know, this yoga, okay, it is utmost important for us. Why? Because through yoga we can keep balance between our body and mind. Okay, so now come to the 8 components of the yoga. So that these 8 components also called the 8 stages of yoga, or 8 limbs of yoga. Okay, so first one is restraint in every sphere of life. And yoga is very popular these days for the stress management, and it is being considered to introduce yoga in school too, and to establish separate department of yoga in all major hospitals. So they are implementing to make or to establish a separate department of yoga in the hospitals. So this is all about the naturopathy and yoga. So here I stop the class. Very soon I'll come with the continuation of this topic. Please wait till then. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye, and thank you to watch my video.